if I traded it all, if I gave it.
Welcome back, everyone. My next guest is Fazia Costi, and she is an executive function coach. Welcome to the show. She's never been on the air before. She's a little nervous, but you know what? She's beautiful. This is going to be great. First of all, I want you to explain to everybody really what an executive function coach is.
Well, thank you for asking, Carol, and thank you for inviting me on the show. I really appreciate that. An executive function coach essentially helps people. My primary audience, I guess I should talk to you about, is children and adolescents. And so my primary goal is to work with these students and help them with their memory, their working memory, help them problem solve, help them with their scheduling. A lot of students come to me and they don't turn in their homework, they forget to do their homework, and so there's a lot of issues that kids have that affect their grades, and so that's kind of what we work with.
Tell us about it, and it should not be coming from the parent, because when the parent is telling the kids what they should do, they ain't listening.
That is true.
That is big time true. So tell us a little bit about your background, you, and how you got into this.
Well, thank you for asking that as well. I have a background in psychiatric social work. I did that for 7 years, so I understand psychiatric challenges. So I understand when my clients come to me with anxiety and dyslexia and dyscalculia and things like that. And then I also have a background in education. So I've been in education for well over a decade, and I've done curriculum development, I've done a lot of mentoring, so I understand that end of it as well. And I've also taught psychology at a college level. So I took all my skill sets and kind of pulled them together to help students find their most successful path, help them kind of take their challenges and create those challenges into successful stories.
So let me ask you a couple of questions right off the cuff, because that's going to make you feel easier at this. First of all, I want to ask you how old your students that you work with are.
My students range in age between 3 and 25. My youngest student is 3. We do a little bit of enrichment, a little bit of executive function, and then my oldest student is 25. But my normal everyday student is usually in middle school. That's usually when parents tend to see the most challenges. That's usually when they come to me, because they're starting to fail their classes, they're starting not to turn in their homework, and so it's usually a good time for us to intervene.
Okay, now you're going to offer for everyone's going to get this. It's a free intake assessment. It's $125 value. You work with people in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Paradise Valley, and Gilbert.
Correct.
You're rated with the Better Business Bureau, and you do free consultations, and you also said that you'll talk as long as they need to talk.
Absolutely.
So what is this intake assessment that they get? What does it entail?
The intake assessment involves an interview that gathers all the information that we need so that I have a really good idea of what the student is dealing with, and then from that I create recommendations. I do this all in writing. It's all a full written report, and I give it to the parents, and then we move forward and determine what the next steps will be.
Well, if you're listening and you have a kid anywhere from 3 on up to about 25, I can see that they're, especially those middle school, that you said that most of those kids are those middle school ages, is where they get, we see that they start getting frustrated and they're not doing things, and certainly they might have issues that they're dealing with that are even things that might not even be in their control.
Exactly, and a lot of times what I see with kids is their confidence starts to drop, their self-esteem starts to drop, and therefore their anxiety goes up, and so it makes it even harder for them to function. And so one of the primary things I work with is I try to increase their confidence, lower their anxiety, and then help them deal with specific issues like working on memory and things like that.
Well, what's also going to make them excel, which is the whole point of this, is that they get more functional and then it makes them excel. Now, you could check her out on her website. It's Executive Function Coach AZ. www.scatsdale.com. You can call her direct. Again, she does free consultations. That number is 480-648-1122. We've got our lines open here. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau. If it's you or someone you know, you might even be a grandparent that's listening, and you know you got the parents are calling and telling they can't take it any longer, this and that. You know, you might know someone in this situation. Everyone is getting, where she's not entering it, everyone's getting a free intake assessment, and it's $125 value, free to you or anyone you know. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Okay, let's talk about some of the other things. Let's talk about the children
Sure.
and some of the challenges that you see that they, whether they're anywhere, are they the same challenges whether you're 2 or 25?
Absolutely not. Everyone deals with different challenges.
Sure.
A lot of the students that I get, though, have anxiety, depression, or they have dyslexia, dyscalculia, dysgraphia. So if you recognize those words, there are a lot of challenges. And so what I do is I really help kind of diffuse those challenges and create more successful experiences for them so that they can move on to the next level in their lives. And
So once they have a consultation with you, what is the next step? What then happens? How do you work with them?
at that point, we create a plan. Once they've had the consultation, we decide if they want to move forward. If they want to move forward, then we do the intake evaluation. That's where I gather all the information. And then we have a written report that also entails my recommendations in detail. From that, we move forward and we start our sessions to create those strong new habits.
And are those sessions done in person with one-on-one? Are they done over the phone? How does that work?
We do those sessions one-on-one in person. I can do it in the individual's home or at my office. Sometimes we do it at an alternative location like a library, depending on the student's comfort level. We also have included in our business a behavioral specialist for times when students have behavior challenges as well, and so we can address those issues as well. And
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Sure.
Okay?
Absolutely.
In what areas then do you serve?
What areas?
Are these those areas
Correct.
that you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, we
So-
serve Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Paradise Valley, and Gilbert.
And again, your ideal client is?
My ideal client is anyone who has challenges. They lack organizational skills. They're not doing the things that are making them successful in life.
So are
I
they
help them
generally-
create new habits.
So let me ask you something, because I'm sitting here listening to that there are some people that may not be a student, but they have they're saying, well, gosh, I'm like that too. Did they have to be a student?
No, they do not have to be. And I do have adults that come to me. It's not my biggest population that I work with, but I do have adults that come to me. And one of the newest things that we've added to our team is a chess coach, because chess actually teaches you a lot of executive function skills that you don't think about it, but it teaches you problem solving, it teaches you focus, it teaches you planning. So all those things come into one game. So that's something new that we've started.
Again, now you're on your website. Do you have all of your services that are listed on there, and some of the different people that you've worked with? Do you have the information on your website?
I do. I have our coaches' information on the website. I have our prices on the website. I have what we do and the description of those services. We will be adding recommendations and things like that probably in the next few days.
Now, the website is executivefunctioncoachaz.com. She does free consultations, and she'll talk as long as you need. That number to call her is 480-648-1122. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau. She works in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Paradise Valley, and Gilbert. She can either come to you, you can go to her office. Where's your office located?
24th Street and Camelback.
Okay, or she can even come to you, or you can can also meet at an off-site as well. And everyone is getting a free intake assessment. This is $125 value to free to you or anyone you know. Our number here, 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So let me ask you something. Here's what everyone wants to know. How long are they going to work with you? How long, because everyone wants to know that. How long is it going to take before I see something?
That's a really good question. Because we customize everything for the individual, it depends on how much we're working with that individual. So, if somebody just wants to work on organizational skills, they might be done in, 4 to 6 weeks. I've had students that I've worked with for just a few weeks, and I've had others that I've worked with for a year and a half up to 2 years.
And so how do you measure the success?
How do I measure success? Well, can I tell you a little story?
Yeah, you can try.
Real short.
Go ahead.
I had a student who, when I first met him, all he did was pace. He couldn't sit down. And after a year and a half, he was able to tell me that 7th grade was the best year ever. So that's how I measure success.
That's awesome. I love that story. I'm so glad you got to tell it, and we had perfect time for it. You know what? This is something that a lot of people deal with, and you know that the kids out there, that one of the reasons why they're not doing so well is because they might not know what to do. So this is a great service. Again, it's executivefunctioncoachaz.com. Caller 480-648-1122.
If I traded it all, if I could